Let's take you through the grid for our penultimate race of Heat State. It's race 24 and it is Senior Rotax. Let's have a look at your starting grid. It's Groups A versus B. Jaden Teen and Tommy van der Stoys are on the front row. Lachlan Robinson and Miska Kaskinen, row 2. Matthew Higgins and Petra Babishkova, row 3. Mario Sidler and Mark Kimber, row 4, with Caden McQueen and Rafael Renhofer rounding out the top 10. Maxence Bouvier, Christophe Sala, William Hoogstrand, Lawrence Herboz, Andrei Petrovic, Mitch Hainert, Vincent van Kerkhoff and Jamie Perilli, Sam Bergstein and Martin Gaiskens ran at the top 20. Completing the 31-strong grid, Ms. Rashid Ghanem, Tom Vuaou, Miro Halika, Paul Hamburg, Jaden Pope, Zach Skowler, Alexander Savinkov, Loris Goisman, Magic Himera, Jules Roussel and Marco Drittenpreis. And we've already had one fall by the wayside. That is Vincent van Kerkhoffen. His day has been one to forget, as the 358 already out before we've gone onto the official formation lap. So the red lights are on the gantry, 10 minutes on the timer plus an additional lap. It's Jaden Teen and Tommy van der Stroys on the front row. Now these were the two fastest drivers in time qualifying. And now we go revs up, lights are out, we are underway. Jaden Teen leads the field into turns 1 and 2. Tommy van der Stroys has got Miska Kaskinen to his outside. Lachlan Robinson initially to his inside as they make their way through turn number 3 on the opening tour of the race. Van der Stroys already has 2 wins and a little bit of a lunge from one of the Sodi carts, possibly Rafael Renhofer through into turn 6, and someone takes good avoiding action as a direct result. But oh dearie me, it's all gone horribly wrong. Up into the air, bouncing up into the air was William Hoogstrand, and there are carts all over the place. And there is the 3, right, I'm just trying to catch the numbers, one of which was a PS competition cart. Could have been Tom Vuaou and Rashid Ghanem on the outskirts of turn number 6. There are also another couple of carts that have been compromised as a direct result. 1 lap completed, Jaden Teen leads, but Tommy van der Stroy is looking to take a 3rd win, and he was 2nd in qualifying. Him and Kai Hillatz are the only 2 drivers so far this weekend that have picked up 2 wins apiece. And if it goes to count back on the ranking after the heats, Tommy van der Stroys, if he does pick up 3 wins, and so does Hillatz, then on the benefit of the doubt, van der Stroys will be the leader on the ranking after the heats, and he's in front with over 1.5 minutes of this penultimate senior Rotax race completed. 3rd, it's Mido Halika, then it's Matthew Higgins, then it's Mark Kimber. Lachlan Robinson rounds out the top 6, move up the inside of Higgins, courtesy of Kimber. That's the change for P4. Lachlan Robinson puts in the fastest lap of the race, 56.341, and then Petra Babishkova down in 7th. And we have had a massive rate of attrition. We've gone down from 31 drivers to 24 out of the race. Raphael Henhofer, Maxence Bouvier, Jamie Perrelly, and there's more dramas. Dramas for Van der Stroys as Kaskinen rides over the right-hand side of him, and Van der Stroys drops to 6th. Jaden Teen now inherits the race lead. So Rashid Ghanem, Tom Vuaul, Alexander Savinkov, 2 DNFs in 2 successive heats, and Vincent van Kerkhoven didn't even get going before we went on to the formation lap. So Van der Stroys has to start fighting back. He's got 5 targets in front of him, and he's got to get past every single one as Kaskinen looks up the inside of Robinson, and he goes grass tracking. Now Van der Stroys is right in his wheel tracks. And there's a lot of rubber collected as now Mark Kimber goes for the race lead. Mark Kimber takes the lead. Matty Higgins looking to take a second win of the day. And now Kimber that's Higgins up the inside of Jaden Teen. Teen now down to 3rd place. Lachlan Robinson in 4th. Miska Kaskinen 5th. Tommy Van der Stroys in 6th. So after 4 laps of this 1,360 metre circuit, it is Mark Kimber from Birmingham in the UK that leads the way, ahead of Matthew Higgins from Trafalgar in Wales, and of Jaden Thien from the Netherlands. Lachlan Robinson now still in 4th. Has there been a change for 5th? Yes, there has. Oh, dearie me. And that is the 903 that pulls into the pits. That is Miro Halika. So down to 23 drivers we go. A real shame for the Finn from RS Competition. Drama with him and Nicky Gauchi earlier on in their second heat. Now Jaden Teen sends one up the inside of Matthew Higgins through turn number 9 to take back second position. Kimber, however, is starting to stretch an advantage over Jaden Teen. There is Petra Babichkova, currently running in 7th position. Not too far behind them. In 8th is Caden McQueen from the United Kingdom, these days based out of Milton Keynes. Not too far outside of Wilton Mill that hosted the Rotax O-Plate earlier on this year. Halfway through our penultimate senior Rotax heat. And Tommy Van der Stroys currently sitting in 5th position. Needs to make some inroads now. Needs to start pushing as best he can. As Robinson looking up the inside, gets through on Matthew Higgins for P3 through turn number 9. Kimber being as metronomic as always. Mario Sidler, the fastest driver out there. And where is Mario at the moment? Down in 21st, 55.466 seconds is his fastest lap. But now, Tommy Van der Stroys is starting to wind up the wick. He's still in 5th. He's just put in a 55.339 second lap time. Putting him within 2/10 of Matthew Higgins, who still holds on to 4th position. Top 5 were covered by just under 9/10 after the opening 6 laps of the race. So the battle for first position is between this quintet of drivers. So now Tommy Van der Stroys up into 4th place, ahead of Matthew Higgins as Kimber leads them across the line to complete lap number 7. As Jaden Thien look for the inside move on Mark Kimber going into turn number 2. They nearly had, I think they had a slight touch. And now what that has done is that the gap has expanded between 1st and 2nd as Robinson up the inside for 2nd position. And so has gone Tommy Van der Stroys and Matthew Higgins. So Jaden Teen finds himself down in 5th position. So Robinson leading the charge to try and catch up with Mark Kimber with 2 minutes and 50 seconds still to go on the clock. A little bit further back down the order, the likes of William Helgstrand. Andrej Petrovic is now coming through, and oh dearie me, that was Mario Sidler, who's on the escape road off of the Europalan. And now Jaden Teen trying to get back into the fight, and there is Petra Babičková up the inside over the curbs, and Petra Babičková gets 2 for the price of 1. It was 3 wide coming across the start-finish line, and she's got through on the pair of them. Petra Babičková now up into 4th place. Van der Sar is looking up the inside very briefly through turn 4 on Lachlan Robinson. They've got to work together, and there is Mario Sidler, unfortunately out of the race. Nearly a third of the field have retired from this race itself, as up the inside of Petra Babičková goes Jaden Teen, and Matthew Higgins also gets through. Caden McQueen not too far away either. We've also had a 5-second time penalty given to Lawrence Herboz for causing a collision. Van der Sar is keeping pace with Lachlan Robinson. Robinson was slightly slower by just over a tenth. Jaden Teen swings to the outside, trying to get opportunistic at the best of times. Is the 380 from the Netherlands, as now Tommy van der Sar look towards the inside. Robinson's pointing forward, Teen's pointing forward. And Babičková towards the outside of Matthew Higgins. Katie McQueen goes to her outside, heading into turn number 3. So Tommy van der Sar is exercising some damage limitation with just over a minute remaining. Now we've lost. Oh, and now the move is happening. Now as Van der Sar got through, he has. But what has happened to Robinson? He's dropped down to the back of that train behind Katie McQueen, because Jaden Teen was opportunistic, got through on Van der Sar. Van der Sar is losing 1 position now, 2. Could be 3 with Petra Babičková. Katie McQueen got through on the 303 from the Czech Republic, as Mark Kimber has got an unassailable lead right now. That gap is now 4.3 seconds. And Van der Sar finds himself in 4th position ahead of Katie McQueen. Petra Babičková rounds out the top 6. Lachlan Robinson down into 7th position, having been in 2nd for a considerable amount of time. As a bit of a bump over the curbing, that was Mitch Haynert, the 354 from TB Kart Netherlands. As now the timer will expire as our race leader makes his way down to turn number 10 for what is the penultimate time here in this 9th race, Senior Rotax A and B. Kimber now will see the final lap board. He will become another different winner here today. That'll make it 7 from 9. Jaden Teen holds on to 2nd position. Matthew Higgins 3rd. Tommy van der Sar in 4th. Katie McQueen in 5th. Petra Babičková, Lachlan Robinson. Good work by Christoph Saller to get through the storm that's emerged around this circuit, especially with quite a few retirements, 10 in total, with Martin Geiskens and Sam Bergstein rounding out the top 10. As Kimber makes his way through into the right-hander at turn 10 for the final time on lap number 12. Tommy van der Sar tried his utmost, but now he has to go into tomorrow. He's got to wait to see what happens in the final race, because Kimber takes the win. 2nd goes to Jaden Teen. 3rd, it is Matty Higgins. 4th, Tommy van der Sar. 5th, Katie McQueen. Petra Babičková, Lachlan Robinson, Christoph Saller, Martin Geiskens and Jaden Pope round out the top 10. Sam Bergstein, Mitch Haynert, Jules Roussel, Loris Koisman, William Helgstrand complete the top 15, and the 21 finishers rounded out by Zach Scowler, Lawrence Herboz, Paul Hamburg, Miska Kaskinen finishing 19th ahead of Magic Muhammada, with Marco Drittenpreis rounding out the 21 that finished all 12 laps. On lap 7 we lost Mario Sidler. Lap 5 we lost Andrej Petrovic. Lap 3 we lost Miro Halika. Before the start we even lost Vincent van Kerkhoven, but on the opening lap we lost Rafael Renhofer, Maxence Bouvier, Jamie Pirelli, Rashid Ghanem, Tom Vuaou and the UK's Alexander Savinkov. The scene was set for the penultimate heat of Senior Rotax. 80% of the races have been completed thus far. And we would see whether one driver would definitely make an impact in his first weekend as a senior in European competition through the main season. Other drivers were in the mix, a handful of them, maybe even quite a few. The lights went out as the revs geared us up for the race start, and Jaden Teen led the field in, followed by Tommy van der Stoys, with the likes of Miska Kaskinen and Lachlan Robinson trying to get towards the sharp end of the field very early to start to control things. Vincent van Kerkhoffen had a bit of a moment before we'd even gotten started, and then this multi-car incident meant that multiple drivers, 6 of which retired on the spot. Tom Bourreau mounting the front right of Rashid Ghanim's Cosmic chassis meant the pair were out on the spot. Tommy van der Stoys would lead at one point, but then Jaden Teen decided, well, I'm going to go for broke. And then this contact here compromised not just Miro Halika, who finished way down the order, but Tommy van der Stoys lost out big time, losing 5 positions in the process. Once again, Miska Kaskinen, having the scars of war on the left side pod, went grass-hopping through the final corner whilst battling away. Jamie Perrelli could only reserve himself to stand at the sidelines and watch again. Also, Miro Halika from Finland with RS Competition would have a Nassau Panoescu to the left-hand side, and his race abruptly ended. At the front of the field, Mark Kimber stormed to the lead of the race, followed by the likes of Jaden Teen, Matthew Higgins, Lachlan Robinson. And whilst Kimber was trying to make a breakaway, everyone else was scrapping behind, especially with the likes of this move from Petra Babičková, getting 2 for the price of 1, getting past both Jaden Teen and also Matthew Higgins in the process, putting himself up to 4th. An off-track excursion meant that Lachlan Robinson would end up moving down into 7th position, which is where the 326 from KR Sport would eventually end up, as Matthew Higgins decided to go on the offensive, as did Petra Babičková, who slightly banged wheels with Tommy van der Stoys. But Mark Kimber became the 7th different winner out of 9 different races so far. But there is one more chapter still to write today here at Karting Genk.